This is a micro behind the scenes type of video. There we go. It's my hand. I got asked recently to do it like this as opposed to doing it in the do it horizontal. Don't do it vertically for these here. Now, when I'm doing like a TikTok video or something like that, those normally go into vertical because it's just a format that's used. On YouTube, more people are used to seeing videos that go into like a horizontal format. Kind of like back in the day when before like widescreen became like fully accepted as kind of the way to go. People would get like their films that were actually in widescreen, so they were seeing more of the films, and they would want them in the 4:3 aspect ratio because that's the way that they were used to seeing them on VHS, which meant that they were either kind of pan and scan or they were cut off. But that's what we're here talking about today. So basically, for those that know my channel, I do like a lot of different styles of videos. I do a lot of live videos and working into some podcasting and stuff as well. And I'll do some pre-tapes. Now, for my live stuff, I'm usually talking about things like whether it's like movies or sales, or most recently, I got to do an in conversation, which I'm very proud of. So if you haven't checked that out, please do. Last night's video that I did was for the Columbia Classics Volume 3. And that for a video like that, which ran, I think, around 32 to 33 minutes long, um, that type of video, like take out like the shooting of the like the footage, the putting everything together, doing like any voiceover work, scripting, researching, that type of stuff. I don't mean watching the films. Obviously, that's you do that ahead of time. But the video itself, that just the structure of it was around 14 hours to in total to do, and that's not including my lunch break for where I had some wonderful Asian food. I love myself some good pineapple chicken, so that was a plus there. So there's like a different type of kind of like joy, I guess we're gonna put with, or satisfaction you get with each type of video that you do. And for me, I love the live interactions that I get when I'm making a live video. It's partially because, well, you know, journalism, acting, that's the stuff that I went to school for, the stuff I kind of grew up with. And there's this kind of this, there's this feed of kind of this give and take that you kind of get that you can't get from something else. So, like, say for instance, you're an actor and you're used to working on TV or films. You're doing like a lot of TV and films, stuff like that, and then you dive into like a Broadway and off Broadway production, and there's this like energy and focus that you get that you didn't realize was kind of a thing. It's kind of this almost like an endorphin rush that works wonderfully. But I think balance when you're doing YouTube is key. That's my cat just going nuts over there. Um, I'm just watching them because I want to make sure that they don't get into any fights. So just bear with me for 1 second. I don't have to use my cat dad voice here, so we're good with that. But for me, I find that even though it can take a long time, like I said yesterday, it was like 14 hours, and that was just like for a fairly short video. And I think that was like, I, you be the judge. I actually thought we did a fairly good job with that one. What I say we? It's like it's me. It's like I'm a one man like when it comes crew when it comes to this editing stuff. I wish I had an editor. That would be amazing. But one of the things that I wanted to add in when I was making the video yesterday was I wanted to like not just talk about special features, like, because I'm gonna have sections where it's just me like talking like just like this, but I wanted to do like for people to like to see them because I was impressed by what was done, the way that it was packaged. It was the first Columbia classics that I had in my collection. I was searching up for volume 3. I had pre-ordered volume 4, and when the agents from Sony reached out to me and said, "Okay, are you interested in getting volume 4?" I'm like, "Yes, I am." So because of that, and because I wanted to take my time to do a good, hopefully a good video on it, I really took my time, and I had like kind of limitations where I had to do this from like farther away. I made it a lot longer, but it made it so very satisfying when I got it done. I was tooting my own horn. I was very impressed with yesterday's video. I loved the idea of like I actually just I said, okay, I want to make sure I don't miss any special features. And if there's something that I don't talk about, or there's something that's in there that like maybe somebody's looking for, and I might hit up on that, because you can't hit on like every single thing in a review, or it goes on for too long, right? But you want people to know what's on that disc, what these special features are there, or what you got, and you you know I started out with like just overall basically showing it. I went to the technical specs of it, uh, audio, video, that aspect of it. Went into the reviews on each, kind of like mini reviews on each film, and gave my rankings for all 6 films on that set, and let you guys know whether or not that set was custom approved, and why exactly, why not. So when I was doing it, I said, okay, well, I'm going through this here. I'm putting all this footage together, and I said, I need to show like what's here, and I decided to do that. So I went and I started to get the special features, and I made sure that I got everything, and I just like after as we're going through, as I'm showing each one, if you when you watch the video, you notice that like there's a scroll that lets you see all the special features that are on each one of the discs, so you can like literally kind of pause it right there and say, okay, this is what's on this set. You're curious, or say you've got the Criterion edition of uh, of one of the titles. Let's say you've got the Criterion for His Girl Friday, and you're wondering, hey, should I get the 4K? What's the difference? So you can literally, you can go and grab your Criterion disc, look on the back of it, and literally pause like my video, and just look at the features and say, okay, here's the difference in the features. I tried to highlight some of the differences, but I didn't have like both versions of the discs in a lot of cases. So I had the 4K edition from the Columbia Classic sets, but I didn't have the Criterion edition of His Girl Friday. Morning, Zammy. So that was, in order to overcome that and to be able to give a thorough review for people that had that edition, I thought the best way to do something like that is just literally to have all the special features so that you know exactly what's there, come up on the screen in nice big bold lettering, so you can just go there. And I tried to underline it, but didn't go through, unfortunately. But when it came to new features, but there was like a new section. You could just look at the features and look at the disc that you had, and see, okay, I'm going to get a 4K upgrade. What are there features that I want for this one here? I tried to be as honest when it came to like which films I like the best. Um, that was that was a bit of fun. The Columbia Classics Volume 4 was a bit of a passion project for me. It's 100 years of Columbia, and I'm going to be doing some videos on that. The fact that I got this set like come was a bit of a bonus. Purchasing the 15 disc collection of Trump. Oh man, I'm sure that'll be something somebody will try and sell. Oh god. Because you just know. I don't get political on here, but that was funny. Um, but when it comes to a lot of that stuff, I try and from I'm doing this 12 years, and if I'm not trying to improve what I did last week and last year and 10 years ago, then why keep doing it for me? Um, that's what I that that's what I try to do. So every time that I get in front of a camera to do a live video, every time that I sit down at the table and I've got my computers, because I work with two computers, I do like my final editing on my on iMovie, and I do my initial editing, any kind of grabs I want to do from like videos, any type of other stuff on OpenShot, which is amazing, by the way, because I come from the prehistoric days where I would sit in an editing room and be spent with 60 millimeter and like be splicing stuff. So I'm that old that I remember the splicing. So I remember going and shooting like footage for our college news program, and we'd look for the outlets. So for the camera, because the camera battery packs were huge, right? But they weren't exactly the the greatest like life. And if you're out there and you're doing some kind of like man on the street or you're filming something, I remember the first week that I got into journalism, the second year class was doing doing PSAs for our television station, and I was it was known that I did some acting. So normally, like first and second year, there's a divide, when it comes to this is higher up, but they need somebody that didn't mind looking like an idiot for a PSA. And just to give you an example, I had to walk down like this. Well, no, skip down the street, dressed like a kid. So I had this like oversized lollipop. I kid you not, and like shorts, and like I'm going down the street in Stephenville, Newfoundland, and we have people like that are trying to tempt the skip. So we have the flasher and the lady of the evening, and all these like and this the drug dealer, all this stuff coming along, and it was just a really fun experience, especially for my first week in college. But I had a blast with that. But we're so what anyway. I digress. It's just we're so lucky right now that you can do like if you want to, you can edit like you can film on your iPhone and edit on your iPad. Um, you can probably do some like minor editing really on your iPad if you want to, and on your iPhone if you want to. That's amazing. We had whole rooms to like that we had to work for doing this type of stuff. And even right now, like I have primarily on a Mac, but I have a PC too, and I do utilize both. So when I'm doing a video, sometimes if quality you see like a 4K quality, like this here will be in 4K. I'm shooting on my iPhone, and but sometimes I'm shooting a StreamYard video, and that's going to be like in a 1080p or 720p, depending on what's you know how it's utilized. Or I'll be shooting like something in iMovie, and some of the shots will be in 4K, and other ones are going to be like in 1080, and hopefully it's not too jarring when you're watching stuff like that. But it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun to be able to like sit back and do that, and it's rewarding to make that stuff. So if you're somebody that that's thinking about doing this, or you've been doing this and you just kind of maybe want to get to that next step, maybe you've been doing like a lot of live, because it's kind of a thing right now, or you're like wondering why like maybe that video that you put a lot of time into your work you worked really hard on isn't capturing the audience that you initially thought it was. Anyone can make a movie. That's true. Anyone can make a film. There's nothing that stops you nowadays. And it's wonderful in a way when you think about it. It's almost time for a trip to camp. It is. I know we're getting close. Vinay, whose channel we should be make sure that you're subscribed to, by the way, and I are doing a retrospective on the Sleepaway Camp series. So please make sure that you check that out. I will let you guys know when when that's coming up. I'm a massive fan of the Sleepaway Camp series. I have both the out of print Screen Factory editions, and I also have the Slasher Classics editions from the UK that 80 Films put out. Each has its own special features. So yeah, I needed to have that, and I do have the DVD edition of Return to Sleepaway Camp as well. Hey, Malcolm, welcome, man. I mean, here's the thing. It is super stressful, but it can be it can be super rewarding, and that's the thing. I always like to say this: when you decide, if you decide to do like YouTube, if you decide to make a podcast, if you decide to get your thing out and make a film, uh, this is the important part. Know that it's you, that you're doing this. So your spouse, your kids, your family, they didn't necessarily sign up. So it's a you thing. um, but if you want to, we want to join up, or you want to join or help or whatever, that's them. I started a channel, but I always stop myself because it's so hard to be unique these days. You're unique, and here's the thing: you can talk about, a million people can talk about the same thing, right? We can have 10,000 people talking about Halloween. And ten times out of 10, you know what you're going to get? You're going to get each person having their own unique aspect of it. Sure, you're going to have overlap and like what some people talk about. They're talking about Deborah Hill. They're talking about John Carpenter. They're talking about like who's behind the mask, all that type of stuff. But everybody's got their own unique experience when it comes to this. And that's, no, they're not mostly boring. That's the thing. If you're interested in something like that, you're going to be interested and you're going to watch it. And that's what makes it so fantastic. I don't know. I cannot list the amount of videos I've watched about Friday the 13th or Halloween or slasher films or stuff like that. And another one comes up tomorrow by somebody else, or here's a perfect prime example right now. Dr. Woofula, very popular YouTuber, right? Who has an amazing like Skeletor impression, by the way. He did around 10 years ago. He did like a ranking for the Halloween series. This week, he put up a ranking for the updated ranking for the Halloween series. Did the fact that he did one before, or that there's a dozen other people or more, because every Halloween someone's doing Halloween rankings, right? Does that change the fact that his was insanely entertaining? Not at all. That's the thing. It's not how many people's talked about something. It's not, do you think like, here's the thing. And I want to put this in the best possible way, 'cause I think it's really important. Because I know people that come on here and they're here for a bit, or they'll just come on here and they'll just go off because it's not for them, and that's perfectly understandable. But I know people that have wanted to make that step and wanted to make that jump, and just haven't done it. Whether they'll put on a camera and they'll be just like wondering how these labels choose who they send review copies to. I can tell you how it works with me. It really depends on the company. Every company is different, and they have different parameters and different like metrics that they use. So a lot of cases, it's going to come on things like, okay, how like, who do you know? Other things that you'll look for is, where are you located? So geolocation is important when it comes to what you receive. I received a lot more before I moved to Morocco. I was receiving stuff from Umbrella. I received one package from Kino. I received a package. I received and still receive packages from Mill Creek, and I still to this day receive stuff from Sony Entertainment. So not a lot from Sony, but every once in a while, like the Comic Classics, you'll see me be able to review like a Sony release. Sony very there's different levels of it as well. For a company like Kino, what they look for are basically they want you to have a website where there is a chance of a written review and an embedded video and not just YouTube. But that changes because the people behind the scenes change over time. For companies like Mill Creek and other companies, it's really just like kind of reaching out to them. For a company like Umbrella, it really just comes down to viewers. Like it comes down to what your view count is and what your reach is. It didn't used to. Umbrella was very very good at who they sent to, and the behind the scenes on Umbrella changed when it came to who the review copies and stuff like that. And when that changed, a lot of people got left out in the cold. I know because I was part of that. I was part of that cut, and so I can actually talk on that to a certain extent. No ill will towards Umbrella. I still love their stuff. I think they're doing the stuff they're putting now is better than ever. But yeah, they changed their way that they did the review copies and not in a positive way. But and then there's Radiance, which was a smaller company that like the guy from Arrow left Arrow, went and made Radiance, went online and said, "Hey, anybody want to review our stuff?" And the second I said, "Hey, you know what? I'm international. I can review. I live in Morocco. I can review for you." Before we even had the chance to follow up with like, "Oh, by the way, I've got a Canadian mailbox and all this type of stuff." Like they shot me down. So you got to be. Uh, it's very very uh, you know shoot your shot when it comes to review copies and stuff like that. But I will say this, and I think uh, it's it's important to, in a lot of cases, hopefully go beyond doing a review, to get to do and make your voice uniquely yours. Um, because, like, for the largest part of my 12 years, I didn't get nothing. Like, this, this is all bought. Most of my stuff is bought, and it will continue to be. And some places I didn't go for because I'll be honest with you, I didn't want to put myself in a situation where I would have to be hem and ha about anything that I review. I want to be like completely kind of honest with what I like and what I don't like. And that's why often when you'll get sent, uh, do you want to review this? Or you get a list of movies and they'll say, hey, which of these titles would you like to review? I'm not going to go to my way to review something that's going to actively irritate me. And people say, why are you so like positive in a lot of your reviews? Well, because unless I come up on a film that I don't really like by accident, or it's something I haven't seen, I normally, if it's something that's being released, I've seen a lot of it. A lot of the I'm older, so a lot of the 70s and 80s and 90s stuff that people are releasing and re-releasing that's coming out now that you're getting like steelbooks of. Steelbooks are the big thing right now. Um, when I get like a review list, I'm like, okay, yeah, I'll take this and this, but I have no interest in this. But for me, a lot of it comes down to where you want to go if you're doing a channel. Retrospectives are wonderful. Interviews are fantastic. It's got to. I think it's got to be spaced out. For me, like this, is PBS. It's what PBS used to be. Is that you've got people that are doing independent programming. it's not like your local TV station. So it's not, it's kind of not, it started like that, I think, and it became more of what PBS is, where you're getting these visual essays and you're getting these podcasts and these podcasters and these people that are actual filmmakers and people that just like study film, have a mind for film or a passion for cinema or some or certain type of film. And that should be something. I mentioned this to a few people recently, and I said, right now, with the boutique labels that are coming out now, with the way that things are being done with YouTube, with like the different books, like the Stephen Thrower books, the different books from Fab Press, stuff coming from Pulse, uh, stuff coming from all these different companies, we are raising a whole generation of cinephiles like never before. Like never before. There's so much access, and people think, well, there's too much access. They're just going to watch streaming stuff, and there's always like that. Oh, well, people watch TikTok. Like there's people's like attention spans are shortened because they watch TikTok. I have news for you. There's always been something that's come along every generation that they've always said, oh, people's attention spans are shortened because TV. People's attention spans are shortened because comic books. People's attention spans are shortened because music videos. People's attention spans are shortened because blah. It's an excuse. It's one of those blanket excuses that they put out there, and every generation does it because they don't understand what's going on with the newer generation. And it's okay. Video games are, oh no, video games are they're ruining kids' attention spans, or making them violent, all this type of stuff. But the truth of the matter is, it's just another way to consume information, and hopefully correct information. Because I look at a lot of like what's going on when it comes to this, and a lot of like I got news for you. A lot of the younger generation are on YouTube. A lot of people that I watch are are on YouTube, and it amazes me because it's really cool to watch like a lot of the younger reviewers because they're coming in with fresher eyes than me. I watched Friday the 13th in the theater. I watched Halloween movies in the theater. I watched a lot of these films. I saw D'Argento films in the theater. Um, you get to see people that have not seen this stuff before that are watching this, and they're lucky they're getting like 4K copies or Blu-rays or even DVDs. Doesn't matter. Um, they and they're seeing it for the first time, and they've got a different like aspect of it. There's people that like Rob Zombie's Halloween. As much as that cringes me to say, is going to be somebody's first Halloween. It's going to be somebody's favorite Halloween. They're going to find the 78 Halloween boring, or hopefully they're going to go back and they're going to like eventually, as they watch more, they're going to get more of a taste. They're going to initially find 78 Halloween boring, but they're going to watch more horror films. They're going to watch more horror films, and they're going to go back and it's going to click. It's one of those aha moments. And I am it makes me very happy that we have that possibility right now. That there is this whole generation that are growing up with Criterion. That there's this generation that can watch BFI releases or can watch Radiance or can see stuff that we had to really. When I watched anime, like the largest portion of anime that I saw when I was in college wasn't subtitled. I would be like dodgy copies. You'd get them over from over in Asia. They would come on VHS. There would be no subtitles. I'm watching Akira. I'm watching Dirty Pair. I'm watching all that stuff. There's no subtitles. I'm watching Akira Kurosawa films. No subtitles. Trying to understand the best I can for stuff like this. Now, not only do we have films with like subtitles and dubbings and different cuts of different films, we've got like essays and commentaries and featurettes and look back on that. Not only just on the films, you can get, I don't know, let's pick something out real quick. You can get like a Santa. You can like watch this Santa film. You can go watch all the features on this here Santa release. But you can, and they might connect with you. But you know what might connect with you even more? You might go on YouTube, see a YouTuber talking about maybe this set, or maybe Santo in general. Maybe they're doing a video on the Santo films and Santo legacy, and that might hit you harder than any of those featurettes that are on there. Because here's the thing, the future of features, the future of commentaries, the future of like all that is here, right in YouTube. And you're going to see more people that are on this on here in this doing this now, that have been doing it for a while, stuff like this, because that is where your newer generation of critics and analysts are coming from. That's the bluntly, like, the best way to put it. That's who the future is here. That actually you give me some great. I may use that. I'm not gonna lie. That is, I'm working on merch right now. Actually, that was one of the things that I was doing earlier today. Because yesterday was in the editing area for the entire day, 14 hours. So with giving myself with around like 20-minute lunch break in between. So today I had just come down here to have some lunch because I was working on some stuff. I'm doing some editing on OpenShot. I'm preparing for some videos, and I'm doing some scripting. I'm writing up some call sheets for some stuff, and future. What's kind of, yeah, the future is here. The future is now, right? I remember when they went from like DVD to Blu-ray, and they like had those. Remember like those commercials that they put on like early Blu-rays and on like kind of on DVDs to promote Blu-rays, like just what what the difference was, like difference between Blu-ray and 4K never got promoted in that same way, and I think like 4K has kind of become like the Laserdisc of collecting, where it's a lot of people are going to love 4K and cinephiles are going to love 4K. It's a Roger Ebert. Roger Ebert's going to be, rest in peace, man. He'd be all over it, but he'd let you know exactly which ones are good, which ones aren't. But that being said, that's see, it's when I'm working, I'm a bit of workaholic when it comes to stuff like this. I get laser focused on things to the point where, and some my friends know this, I forget sometimes. I'm epileptic. I'll forget like to my mom better watch this video. Forget to take my medication, and I'm like, oh crap, I forgot. Feeling a bit woozy today. What is it? Oh, I forgot to take my medication. Hey there, why welcome, man. It was amazing having you on, by the way. I got to get you back on. If you have not seen the interview that I did with Roy, the conversation, it was so good, and again, I will toot mine and Roy's horn when it comes to this. It is a really good conversation, and I'm very proud of that video. My better half was upstairs in bed because she had to work the next day, and she said, I was going to sleep, and I heard you downstairs, and I stayed up to listen to some of the video, and that's a major thing for me, because here's the thing: my better half is my biggest cheerleader, but she's my biggest critic. She doesn't believe in like just patting me on the back and saying, "Oh, good job." If I mess up, she will let me know, and which I appreciate. And or if she feels like, okay, this isn't like up to the level that you can do, then there's that. But she loved the in conversation. She actually ended up watching it the next day. So that was a long one too. So that was a big deal because, for live videos, like her for committing an over 2 hour long video, 'cause when she hears my voice every day, that that's that's a commitment for my better half. Um, she watched my the video I did yesterday. She watched the Columbia Classics review, and she was like, "Okay, this is one of the best things you've done in a long time," and that holds a lot of weight with me because she never BS's me on stuff. She'll also tell me when I've done, okay, no, this has to be redone, or I don't like this, or take this down, or redo this video. So she's kind of like my second editor. I spoke with Roy this morning on some stuff. We talked about editing and how important it is for here, for just in general. When I did journalism, one of the things that you had, every journalist took around this blue book. It was standard. And if you've ever been to Canada, you did journalism, you had this blue book, and it was like this spelling, punctuation, whatever. It's like that. It's kind of your go-to book. And as good as that was, things you were getting the story in, and I think things are just sometimes too quick now, because we always had editors that we worked with, and I liken it to to comics, in that Kirby or like Ditko pencils were amazing, but they were extra amazing when the other right inkers working with them. Um, a good like video or a good story, well, was is always better with the right editor and with the right editing. It's super important. It's one of the things that the reason that people watch this, because here's the thing, and I think Swell Entertainment said this well. It's another channel which I watch, by the way. She's really good. Is that by far and large, YouTube is still a person with a camera talking. There's more editing, there's more cuts, there's more stuff that's done in and out, but it has to be you, your personality and your passion for something that brings and keeps somebody in to watch your channel. And they'll watch, and a lot of times they're not watching the entire video, they can watch a little bit of it. But overall, people that watch your channel on a regular basis, that keep coming back, that type of thing, a lot, 9 times out of 10, they they are not watching, they are listening, because it doesn't matter what you're talking about to people that are that like your channel, that actually legitimately like it. Because they're listening to it, they're watching to it for you, and they're usually like a podcast. They're working out, they're going about their day. They might have you on in the background while they're cooking, and they're like, okay, it's comfort, and I know because I do it, because I'm that person. On the other side, that have YouTubers and podcasters, that I'll be in the kitchen, I'll be making my breakfast, I'll be working on some stuff, I'll be like, if I'm editing something and like there's no sound that I'm using, then I'll have something on in the background too. So it's key. It is key for when you're doing this, to be talking about something that you really enjoy, that you're passionate about. Because you're talking about stuff because you think this is what somebody wants to hear, then it's going to come through. It is going to show through. If you're doing it because you love it, if you're doing it because you're passionate about it, if you're talking about films, if you're talking about comics, if you're talking about video games, if you're talking about something that you're really excited about, your excitement, your passion, your interest, your love of it will come through. And it may take a while to get to the spot where you want to get to. It's not an overday thing, or it's not an overnight thing. If it is fantastic, wonderful, lucky, you're one of the lucky, blessed people. But when you're doing this, and don't not do this because you think, oh, I can't do this. What is my voice gonna mean, or what's it gonna matter to me? Like, everything's been talked about before. Yes, and every story's been written, but yet we're still writing new stories. Every film, in its own way, has been filmed. There's been a superhero movie. There's been Western films. There's been giallos, there's been slashers, there's been dramas, there's been like samurai films, but it's the spin and uniqueness that's put on that keeps people. Because she's honestly, because Brie Larson's pretty cool, um, and it has a lot to do with the fact that in because I'm I like aside from liking Cat Marvel, I was a Brie Larson fan ahead of that. She has no time for BS, and I absolutely adore that. I like people that are true to themselves. And that, like that's the thing. Like it's exactly what I said right here. Like I'm sure there's people who are gonna watch Brie Larson because she's famous. That you've got that built-in base right there. Of course, she's an actress. She's Academy nominated actress. Uh, not just another actress. She's not just a Marvel girl. She's done a lot of stuff, some amazing stuff. But so do I have a lot of other people that haven't like really caught on. The thing that it comes down to with a lot of this is how you present yourself, and if people believe you, if people believe in what you're saying, that you believe what you're saying. Have a great night there, Alan. You said something about a company going, and I keep missing it. So if there's a company that's gone into the physical media market, I'm so sad. Um, but I'm not wearing my close glass. I'm wearing my far away glasses, so I can't see a lot. Um, I'm taking off my glasses every once in a while just to read, so I can see some of the comments here. Um, yeah, it's all about like authenticity. That's really what it's about. I don't talk about movies just to talk about. If I wanted to come on YouTube and be like famous, I would have went into the drama or the outrage or one of those type of channels type of things. But it's not me. It wouldn't be me, right? I got to talk about the stuff that's like more niche and less popular. So I'm never going to be the guy that blows up to 10 million viewers. And I've long since like come to grips with that aspect of it, and be okay with that, because that's not the path I chose. I didn't choose the path to go to in that direction. I chose it to. But there's the thing: if you think, Malcolm, that something is under talked about, talk about it. If you think that there is something that's not being touched upon, you can touch upon it. For me personally, to when I talk a lot about like slasher and horror and stuff like that, because that's a massive part of me. And for me to talk about things that I may be not know as well, or have maybe the level of interest in that somebody else has, it would do a disservice to the topic, and it would do a disservice to people that want to listen to conversations about that topic. I I listen to Maitland McDonagh, for instance, who is a Broken Minds, Broken Mirrors, who is a Jerry Gento fan, and with our Gento views, whether we agree or not. And the thing is, it doesn't matter if one person sees it, or if 10 people sees it, or if 10,000 people see it, or if it does, then if that matters, if that is really, if you're going to look and you're looking at the numbers and you're consistently looking at the numbers, uh, then this may not be the right area, because there's going to be low numbers. I have videos that to this very day, and I get frustrated sometimes. Like, oh, what? I worked so hard on this video, or I feel so passionate about this one here. Like, I love comics, and like they're not getting the views that like my movie. My movie stuff does. Um, Favorite supper recipe you make before you start a movie? I'm not a great cook. Uh, my better. I recently got more into Asian food, but I'm from Newfoundland, so a good jigs dinner is the key for me. I love good jigs dinner, and look it up. It's very tasty. Um, but if you feel passionate about something, if you feel that something is underrepresented, something that's not out there, and you're like, okay, this is something that I want to talk about. I just need to get this off my chest. Even if you film it and you don't put it up there, just for you, because you could do that. You could do a whole bunch of like videos, like where you just, okay, I'm talking about this. I want to talk about this movie, and you take your camera, you take your phone, you take your computer, whatever. Oh, no, man, you say it, dude. How much I have gotten amazing stuff out of you, and I've realized that you're way better than you give yourself credit for, because you are. And it's not just me, because you've got on Jason's channel, and you've done work with other people. So obviously, Malcolm, you're not rubbish. You do good, um, and that's something that to look at is to like, even if you just, okay, I make a bunch of videos, and I did this before. There's a bunch of, do you know there's a ton of videos that I've made that are on YouTube, not even close. But I made them for me because I want to get things out. And some down the road, like some of them ended up on YouTube, some of them ended up on Patreon. I did a video, and it took forever, and I was going to be the start of a series, and I didn't keep, because I am, for those that unaware, I love music, and the thing is, I spent the time and I went through an entire record, and I went song by song, and I talked about like the songs that were on the record, the construction of it, the making of it, and it was like kind of a visual essay. Um, it's probably still today one of my least viewed, but one of my favorite videos. And my most watched video are rarely the videos that I'm most proud of, or that because a lot of times, guys, it's going to come down to this: you're going to hit a certain thing at a certain time. Um, One of my most viewed videos was a short video I did on a Mill Creek set line before I ever worked with Mill Creek, and it just had the title of the set was "Girls, Guns, and G Strings," right? Something like that. Ten of them were dancing. Right on, man. Um, I Who says there's no dancing videos out there? There just might be. Saying that. Just not on YouTube. Um, but the title alone is going to draw people, right? And it was a short video, so it was a quick and easy watch, and it got thousands of views. And when I initially put it out there, I thought it was like maybe 10 views. I had nobody watching my channel at that point, and nobody was reviewing that set. Andy Sedaris wasn't really known that well at that point. Not a lot of people were talking about him. To this day, actually, not a lot of people talk about Andy Sedaris, which is a shame, real shame, actually. Mill Creek have done a lot to like put him into prominence, but especially when they put those films out on Blu-rays on their own. Well, it was a throwaway early video that I did, and it caught on, which is wonderful. But I did a bunch of like Charlie Chan videos, where I was reviewing Charlie Chan films, because I'm a massive fan of that series, whether it's Warner Oland or Sidney Tollier, or Roland Winters, etc. Uh, Downtown Julie Brown, man, be still my heart. But and I was like so proud of myself. This was early. I was like, so I was not the best when it came to perspective. When it came to came came to a video. I don't know if I look good in red, man. Purple. Uh, so but I had like the screen in front of me, like my TV behind me with the muted with the Charlie Chan. I was talking about the Charlie Chan films. I felt really good, really confident about what I was going to, what I was talking about. And like, oh, this is it. These are the videos that are going to break through, and people are going to finally see my YouTube genius, right? Yeah, no, that didn't happen. But shame on you, Scream Factory did. Um, so you can never tell. The only thing I can say is don't do this if you're doing it because you want your for validation inside. Uh, do it because you have validation inside because you like doing it. It's wonderful when I get to chat with people like you guys. It's wonderful to be able to talk to Milk. I'm be able to talk to Rod. Be able to talk to have to chat with you guys like with Monkey and have like everybody up here like Alan comes in and we have like this community and it's a wonderful thing. It's a fantastic thing, a wonderful community to have. Check out my early Charlie Chan videos. Maybe you'll like them, Monkey. I really enjoyed making those. And eventually, I want to go back and kind of revisit that franchise. Now that I know a bit more when it comes to the construction videos, and even like I'm learning on a daily basis. Every day I learn something new, and every day I'll get something wrong, and hopefully, if I'm very lucky, and I'm very blessed, I will learn a little bit from what I got wrong, whether it's getting a name wrong, not editing something quite right, uh, doing an intro theme music way too loud and blasting your ears. Um, Hopefully, those are things that you learn from and you grow and you evolve. And that's what it's all about. I love you guys' comments. You guys are awesome. It's just because I'm reading it as much as I can right now. But there you go. Was going to be a 5 minute video that turned into a uh, into a 52-minute video. But I have to eat, and I have to work. Sadly, I have to work. I may be doing a live soon, but I just thank. You won't have to do that soon. When I came back from Paris, I shot a bunch of videos at the same time. Those Paris videos, intros are blasting up. And I could go back in and redo them, but kind of lazy with that. I do not need new intros. I love my intros. Super proud because my intros don't. I, I didn't make them. Um, the fact that I have that they were made by a friend of mine is what's incredible. It's and I don't think there's anything that like really epitomizes my channel more than the Cisco Neighbor interview, like intro that comes up for Cult Cinema. Because if it wasn't for them, I probably wouldn't be here doing this. And that is my tribute to the people that inspired me. Anyway, my name is Aaron. This has been Behind the Scenes, Random Chat in the Cult of Cinema. And for you guys that have been along for this ride so far, I want to thank you. For the people that are new or just seeing this for the first time, hop in sometimes to a live, watch some of my shorter videos, whatever you feel most comfortable with. But hopefully you subscribe, you'll share, that type of stuff. And Have a wonderful day. Talk to you soon.